Welcome, my friends, to this journey of self-discovery and transformation. Today, we will explore the liberating art of letting go, a practice that has the power to unlock a life of greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. As human beings, we are constantly surrounded by a world of objects, experiences, and relationships. We find ourselves drawn to certain things, people, and situations, forming deep emotional and mental attachments to them. These attachments can provide a sense of security, comfort, and fulfillment, but they can also be the source of immense suffering and dissatisfaction. The idea of letting go of attachments is a concept that has been explored and emphasized by various spiritual and philosophical traditions, particularly in the teachings of the Buddha. However, the true meaning and practical application of letting go are often misunderstood. Many people mistakenly believe that letting go means completely detaching from the world around them, abandoning the things and people they love. This misconception can lead to a sense of loss, fear, and resistance, making the process of letting go seem like an impossible task. In reality, the art of letting go is not about relinquishing the material and relational aspects of our lives, but rather about cultivating a deeper understanding of the nature of existence. It is about recognizing the impermanent and ever-changing nature of all phenomena, including our own thoughts, emotions, and experiences. By embracing this fundamental truth, we can learn to let go of our attachment to the desire for permanence and control, and instead find freedom, peace, and the ability to truly appreciate and engage with the present moment. In this comprehensive exploration, we will delve into the true meaning of letting go, the underlying causes of attachment, and the practical steps we can take to cultivate a more mindful and detached relationship with the world around us. Through a deeper understanding of the nature of impermanence and the illusion of ownership, we will discover how to let go of our grasping and control, and ultimately find greater fulfillment, resilience, and joy in our lives. The nature of attachment. At the heart of the concept of letting go lies the understanding of attachment. Attachment is a complex phenomenon that arises from our innate human desire for security, comfort, and a sense of control over our lives. It is the mental and emotional clinging to specific objects, people, or experiences, fueled by the belief that they can provide us with lasting happiness and fulfillment. One of the most common misconceptions about attachment is that it is solely about the objects or things we possess. Many people believe that in order to let go of attachments, they must physically part with the material possessions or relationships they are attached to. However, this perspective misses the deeper, more fundamental nature of attachment. According to the teachings of the Buddha, attachment is not about the external objects or circumstances themselves, but rather the mental and emotional states that arise in relation to them. It is the desire for these things to be permanent, the belief that they are an extension of our own identity, and the fear of losing them that truly constitutes attachment. When we are attached to an object or person, we tend to view them as an integral part of our being, something that we own and that defines us. This sense of possession and control over the external world is an illusion, fueled by our ego's need for stability and security. However, the reality is that everything in the universe is in a constant state of flux, subject to the inherent nature of impermanence. The Buddha's teachings emphasize that the root cause of suffering lies in our inability to accept this fundamental truth of impermanence. We cling to the belief that the things and people we love should remain unchanged, that our experiences and relationships should be permanent fixtures in our lives. When these inevitably change or are lost, we experience profound pain, grief, and a sense of emptiness. It is this attachment to the desire for permanence that lies at the heart of our suffering, whether it is the attachment to material possessions, relationships, or even our own thoughts and emotions. The underlying mechanism is the same, the belief that we can control and hold on to these things forever. By recognizing the impermanent nature of all phenomena, we can begin to let go of the illusion of ownership and control. We can acknowledge that the objects, people, and experiences in our lives are not ours to possess, but rather temporary manifestations that we are privileged to encounter and engage with for a time. This understanding of the true nature of attachment is the first step towards the art of letting go. It requires us to shift our perspective from one of grasping and control to one of acceptance and appreciation. Instead of seeing the world as a collection of things we must possess and hold on to, we can learn to view it as a constantly evolving tapestry of experiences, relationships, and opportunities to be fully present and engaged with. The practical aspects of letting go. Once we have a deeper understanding of the nature of attachment and the underlying causes of our suffering, the next step is to explore the practical aspects of the art of letting go. This process involves cultivating a mindset and a set of practices that can help us navigate the challenges and complexities of releasing our grip on the things we hold dear. One of the foundational practices in the art of letting go is the cultivation of mindfulness. Mindfulness, as defined by the Buddha, is the ability to be fully present and attentive to the current moment, without judgment or attachment. By developing a strong mindfulness practice, we can begin to observe our thoughts, emotions, and experiences with a greater sense of clarity and detachment. Through mindfulness, we can become more aware of the arising and passing of our attachments. We can notice the subtle ways in which we cling to certain objects, people, or outcomes, and the suffering that this clinging can cause. By simply observing these patterns without judgment, we can create the necessary space to let go and respond with greater wisdom and compassion. Another key aspect of the art of letting go is the cultivation of an understanding of the impermanent nature of all phenomena. As we discussed earlier, the root cause of our suffering lies in our inability to accept the inherent impermanence of the world around us. By deeply contemplating and integrating this truth into our lived experience, we can begin to let go of the illusion of permanence and control. One way to cultivate this understanding is through the practice of contemplating the inevitability of change and loss. This can involve reflecting on the transient nature of our own lives, the constant flux of our thoughts and emotions, and the impermanence of our relationships and possessions. By embracing the reality that nothing lasts forever, we can begin to let go of the attachment to the desire for things to remain the same. Another powerful practice in the art of letting go is the cultivation of gratitude and appreciation. Instead of clinging to the belief that the things and people in our lives should remain permanent fixtures, we can learn to appreciate them for the temporary gifts they are. By cultivating a deep sense of gratitude for the present moment and the fleeting experiences we are privileged to encounter, we can let go of the attachment to ownership and control. This practice of gratitude can be applied to all aspects of our lives, from our material possessions to our relationships, and even our own thoughts and emotions. By recognizing the inherent impermanence of these phenomena, we can learn to hold them lightly, with a sense of awe and reverence for the ever-changing nature of existence. In addition to these foundational practices, the art of letting go also involves the development of a deeper understanding of the self and our relationship to the world around us. Many spiritual and philosophical traditions emphasize the importance of recognizing the illusory nature of the ego and the inherent interconnectedness of all things. By letting go of the attachment to the idea of a fixed, permanent self, we can begin to see ourselves as part of a larger, ever-evolving tapestry of existence. This shift in perspective can help us release the need to control and possess the things and people in our lives, and instead embrace a more fluid, adaptable, and compassionate way of being. Furthermore, by cultivating a deeper understanding of our interdependence with the world around us, we can let go of the belief that we are separate, autonomous entities. We can recognize that our lives are inextricably linked to the lives of others, and that our actions and choices have a profound impact on the larger whole. This recognition of our interconnectedness can inspire a sense of responsibility and a desire to act with greater compassion and care for the well-being of all beings. It can also help us let go of the attachment to the idea of individual accomplishment or success, and instead find fulfillment in contributing to the greater good. Throughout this process of letting go, it is important to remember that the path is not linear, nor is it a one-time event. Letting go is a lifelong practice, a constant dance of embracing impermanence and releasing our attachment to the desire for permanence. There will be times when we falter, when the pull of our attachments feels overwhelming, and when the fear of letting go seems insurmountable. However, by cultivating patience, self-compassion, and a deep understanding of the inherent nature of existence, we can continue to navigate this journey with grace and resilience. Each time we let go, we create more space for growth, for deeper connection, and for the discovery of a greater sense of freedom and fulfillment. This process is not about giving up or detaching from the world around us, but rather about embracing the impermanent nature of all phenomena and finding a more fluid, adaptable, and compassionate way of engaging with life. The rewards of letting go. As we have explored the nature of attachment and the practical aspects of the art of letting go, it is important to consider the profound rewards and benefits that can arise from this transformative process. By embracing the impermanent nature of all phenomena and releasing our grip on the desire for permanence and control, we can unlock a world of greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. One of the primary rewards of letting go is the experience of greater inner peace and contentment. When we are no longer consumed by the relentless pursuit of acquiring, possessing, and controlling the things and people in our lives, we can find a deep sense of tranquility and acceptance. The constant struggle to maintain the status quo, to ensure that our lives remain unchanged, can be a significant source of stress and anxiety. By letting go of this attachment to permanence, we can learn to embrace the natural ebb and flow of life, the constant cycle of birth, growth, decay, and death that permeates all aspects of existence. This acceptance of impermanence can free us from the burden of constantly trying to resist or manipulate the inevitable changes that occur, allowing us to find a greater sense of ease and contentment in the present moment. Moreover, the act of letting go can also lead to a profound shift in our perspective on the nature of self and our relationship to the world around us. As we release the attachment to the idea of a fixed, permanent self, we can begin to see ourselves as part of a larger, interconnected whole. This recognition of our inherent interdependence with all things can inspire a deep sense of compassion, empathy, and a desire to contribute to the greater good. When we let go of the illusion of separation and control, we can start to see the world not as a collection of objects to be possessed and manipulated, but as a tapestry of relationships and experiences to be fully engaged with and appreciated. This shift in perspective can open us up to a greater sense of wonder, awe, and gratitude for the beauty and complexity of the universe. Furthermore, the art of letting go can also lead to a deeper understanding and acceptance of our own mortality and the impermanence of our lives. By contemplating the inevitability of change and loss, we can learn to embrace the preciousness of the present moment and the fleeting nature of our experiences. This can inspire us to live with greater intentionality, to savor the small moments, and to cultivate a deeper appreciation for the people and things that we hold dear. In the face of loss and change, the ability to let go can also provide us with a greater sense of resilience and adaptability. When we are no longer clinging to the belief that things should remain the same, we can more gracefully navigate the inevitable challenges and transitions that life presents. We can learn to respond with flexibility, compassion, and a willingness to embrace the unknown, rather than being paralyzed by fear and resistance. Moreover, the practice of letting go can also open us up to a greater sense of freedom and possibility. When we release our attachment to the desire for permanence and control, we can create more space in our lives for new experiences, relationships, and opportunities to arise. We can become more receptive to the flow of life, allowing ourselves to be guided by curiosity, creativity, and a sense of adventure, rather than being confined by our own rigid expectations and limitations. This newfound freedom can also extend to our relationships with others. By letting go of the attachment to the idea of possession and control, we can cultivate more genuine, authentic, and fulfilling connections with the people in our lives. We can learn to appreciate them for who they are, rather than trying to mold them into our own vision of what they should be. This can lead to a deeper sense of mutual understanding, respect, and the ability to embrace each other's unique qualities and evolving nature. Finally, the art of letting go can also have a profound impact on our overall well-being and quality of life. By releasing the burden of attachment and the constant struggle to maintain the status quo, we can free up a significant amount of mental and emotional energy. This can lead to a greater sense of clarity, focus, and the ability to engage more fully with the present moment, rather than being consumed by the endless cycle of grasping and aversion. Moreover, the practice of letting go can also have tangible benefits for our physical health and well-being. By reducing the levels of stress, anxiety, and negative emotions that are often associated with attachment, we can support the body's natural healing processes and promote a greater sense of overall vitality and balance. In conclusion, the rewards of the art of letting go are manifold and profound. By embracing the impermanent nature of all phenomena and releasing our attachment to the desire for permanence and control, we can unlock a world of greater inner peace, compassion, freedom, and the ability to fully engage with the beauty and complexity of the present moment. This transformative journey is not an easy one, but the rewards it can bring are truly life-changing, empowering us to live with greater wisdom, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the gift of existence.
Whenever you feel sad, listen to this story, a motivational tale of a discontent raven roaming through the forest one afternoon. A lone raven perched atop a tall oak tree, gazing down at the other birds enjoying themselves below. But unlike the others, this raven was not happy. In fact, he felt utterly miserable with his situation in life. "Why must I be a boring blackbird?" he thought to himself. "The ducks get to swim together in groups, laughing and having fun. The sparrows chatter noisily amongst themselves. Even the crows are sociable in their murderous groups. But me, I am all alone with no one." As the sun began to set, painting the sky a vibrant orange hue, the raven could not help the tears welling up in his eyes. He felt so unfulfilled, as if something was missing from his life that the other birds seemed to have. With a deep sigh, the first teardrop fell from his eye. Just then, a monk happened to be meditating under that very same tree. The solitary tear fell from above and landed gently on the monk's bald head. Stirred from his thoughts, he glanced up to see the raven peering down, tears now streaming down his feathered face. "Why do you cry, my friend?" the monk called up softly. Sniffling, the raven began, "O wise one, I am but a lonely and miserable bird. The others all revel together while I have no one. I am black as the night and have nothing colorful about me. Death would be better than this pitiful life." The monk's heart went out to the distraught raven. He replied gently, "We all have times of darkness, little one. But we must learn to be content with our state and find purpose within, not compare without. True happiness comes from within, not without." But the raven did not understand the monk's wise words. He continued sobbing, feeling more discontent than ever at his simplistic lot in life. Seeing the raven would not be consoled, the monk had an idea. "Fine then. If changing your form will make you happy, I can use my magic to do so. But first, go and see what other birds feel of their lives before deciding. Then return to me and I shall grant your wish." Excited at the prospect of change, the raven dried his tears and flew off in search of the other birds. First, he spotted a grand white swan gracefully floating upon the surface of a pond. Surely this beautiful bird must be happy with its elegant appearance. Landing beside the swan, the raven said, "Oh, how marvelous you look, as milky white as fresh fallen snow. You must be the most pleased of all birds." But surprisingly, the swan shook its large head and replied in a melancholy tone, "Alas, no. The white paints me as pure. I wish I had lovely colors like the others. White shows nothing of who I am." Disheartened, the raven took flight once more. If even the splendid swan was not content, who could be? Next, he happened upon a colorful parade of parrots in a nearby tree, laughing and preening their spectacular plumes. "Here is a group who must feel splendid in their glossy coats," the raven mused. Approaching the parrots, the raven cheerily asked, "With your rainbow of hues, you all seem beyond blissful. Who could be happier than a beautiful parrot?" But one parrot stepped forward with a sad look and mentioned, "I may shine, but I live in fear of being trapped again in a too small cage, on display, but not free." By now the raven was growing confused. If even the sociable parrots and the swan were not satisfied, who could be? With the setting sun, he spotted the resplendent emperor of birds, the peacock, fanning his spectacular tail before an entranced audience at the local zoo. Surely a being so extravagantly painted must delight always in its design. Catching the peacock's eyes, the raven greeted him, "Magnificent creature! With your dazzling dress and admirers each day, you must know only bliss." But shaking its head, the peacock whispered back sadly, "I am confined and people rootle through my feathers, causing me pain. All for their own pleasure, not mine. A gilded cage is still a prison." The raven could hardly believe what he was hearing. None of the colorful, sociable birds felt truly content. All seemed to find fault in some area of their lives. Discouraged, he asked the peacock, "If you're not happy, then who is? Which bird lives with no regrets?" Thinking deeply, the peacock looked around his enclosure, finally spotting the raven and smiling. "My friend, you are the only one who comes and goes freely as you please through the sky. No cage, no demands, just simplicity. I believe the raven is truly the happiest of all. Hardly daring to believe it, the raven flew off into the night, pondering all he had seen and heard. Returning to the monk at long last, he bowed low and said, "Why, sir, forgive my foolishness before. After seeing how even the most beautiful birds find cause for complaint, I see now that simplicity can be its own blessing. Please, I am happy enough as a plain old raven." The monk smiled kindly. "You have learned a valuable lesson, that true contentment comes from within, not without. Comparing oneself to others leads only to jealousy and sadness. Be at peace in what you have been given." And so the raven returned to his solitary perch in the woods, but with a new sense of purpose and acceptance. From that day on, he was once again happy with his simple black feathers and solitary way of life. He had learned that true happiness lies not in color or company, but in being joyful with one's lot. This story reminds us that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Social media tends to highlight only the positive pieces of others' lives, making our own seem dull by comparison. But true contentment comes from cultivating gratitude for what we do have, not obsessively wanting more. I hope you enjoyed this tale. Please subscribe to our channel for more inspirational videos and stories about finding purpose and peace within. Thanks for watching.
Have you ever noticed that certain people enter our lives at critical moments? It feels as though they were sent on purpose to deliver a message or help us solve a problem. Have you ever experienced a sensation of déjà vu when meeting someone, as if you had already met them in an undefined past? In this video, we will explore the idea that people don't come into our lives by chance but for a specific reason. So make yourself comfortable and stay until the end, because what you will hear will deeply impact you. But first, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share the video. This way, you'll help us produce new valuable content every day for your spiritual growth. One day, while the elderly monk Kenshin was meditating under a blossoming cherry tree, a young man named Haruto approached him respectfully. Master?" he asked. "Sometimes I meet people and feel a positive sensation, as if I had already met them or they had a particular affinity with my soul. Other times, I feel a negative sensation, as if that person had come to harm me, and it makes me restless. Do people come into our lives by chance?" Kenshin, fixing his piercing eyes on the young man, replied, "People never enter our lives by accident. This truth is deeper than we can imagine. In life, we meet different people, and each of them has a place and role in our story. Some come and go, others stay and accompany us through different periods of life." Kenshin slowly stood up and pointed to the blue sky above them. "Look at the birds, young friend. They do not fly by chance. They are carried by the currents of the air, just as we are carried by the invisible forces of existence." Haruto contemplated the birds flying across the sky, trying to grasp the depth of the master's words. "Imagine your life as a garden," Kenshin added. "Every person who crosses your path is like a seed planted by destiny. Some grow like colorful flowers that last a season, others like mighty trees that endure over the years, but each brings with it the promise of new growth." "Master," Haruto inquired, "if people come into our lives for a reason, how should we relate to them, knowing that each encounter holds significance?" Kenshin smiled gently. "We must approach each relationship with mindfulness and compassion. Understand that every person you meet, whether they bring joy or challenge, is an opportunity for growth. It is our duty to leave them better than we found them, to be a positive influence in their lives just as they are in ours. We should strive to be a source of light and support," Kenshin continued. "In every interaction, whether brief or enduring, seek to uplift and inspire. Offer kindness and understanding, for these small acts can have profound impacts. Remember that even a simple gesture of kindness can change someone's day, and in turn, their life. Treat every person as if they are a part of your spiritual journey, deserving of your respect and care. Kenshin then shared, when you encounter someone in distress, extend your hand to help without expecting anything in return. It is through selfless acts that we truly connect with the essence of others. By nurturing these connections, we foster a sense of community and shared purpose. Life's greatest blessings often come from the bonds we form with those who cross our path. Haruto listened deeply, absorbing the wisdom of Kenshin's words. Master, how do we ensure that we do not miss the lessons each person brings? By being present and fully engaged, Kenshin replied. Listen more than you speak. Observe more than you judge. Each person carries a unique story and a lesson that can enrich your own life. Approach every encounter with an open heart and mind, ready to learn and to teach. This mutual exchange is the foundation of meaningful relationships and personal growth. Haruto nodded, reflecting on the various flowers and trees he had seen blooming along his life's path. The people who hurt us, Kenshin continued in a tone of pity, are often our best teachers. They are sharp stones on our path, and despite the pain, they teach us to grow and find our inner strength. The young monk closed his eyes, reliving the challenges that had tempered his soul over time. And then there are those who appear when we need them most, Kenshin said, pointing to a majestic tree. Just as the roots of this tree support it on stormy days, these people support us in difficult times. Haruto thought of a person who had been his refuge during a delicate period, a solid anchor in the midst of a storm, someone who later left his life even though he wished they had stayed. Kenshin concluded wisely, some remain with us forever. They are like fixed stars in our sky, bright and constant, true friends, family members, or a soulmate. With them, we share the burdens of our days and the joy of our successes. The young monk smiled, feeling enveloped in gratitude for the special people he had met and had by his side. Kenshin looked up at the sky, a subtle light dancing in his eyes. Recognize and appreciate every person who crosses your path, young Haruto. Each is an essential part of your story, and you are a part of theirs. Life is an intricate web of destinies, and each encounter contributes to the fabric of your existence. Know that there are fundamentally 3 types of individuals: those who support us on the path of our evolution, pushing us to overcome limits and reach new levels of awareness, those who bring a breath of renewal to our inner world, and those who encourage us to continue. This particular category of travel companions may only accompany us for a brief moment. Haruto listened intently, absorbing the wisdom of his master's words, understanding that every person in his life had a purpose, and every encounter held a deeper meaning. But their role is crucial, Kenshin continued. They remind us of the true nature of our path, strengthening our determination to move forward. The master's words helped the young novice, who in the following years continued to follow the path illuminated by Kenshin. Every encounter, whether a casual passerby or a lasting life partner, became for him a precious piece in the mosaic of his existence. Through challenges and joys, Haruto learned that every person, every experience brought with it a hidden gift, a precious teaching that contributed to his growth and spiritual fulfillment. As time passed, the novice himself became a senior monk with wise eyes and a grateful heart. In his role as a spiritual guide, he shared with the young monks the profound truth taught to him by Kenshin, that life is a constant flow of meaningful encounters, each of which contributes to the unique beauty of our existence. In conclusion, the moral of this story is clear. In life, every encounter, regardless of its duration or intensity, contributes to the richness of our existence. Life is a wonderful journey of discovery, and each person who crosses our path brings with them a unique gift. Sometimes these people leave for no apparent reason. Other times, they behave badly and force us to make a decision to walk away from them. What we need to understand is that their work is done because one of our needs or desires has been satisfied. In a world where people's paths cross and separate like branches of a tree, true wisdom lies in opening your heart at every encounter and learning from the lessons hidden in the folds of destiny. As we move toward our life goals, difficult challenges and trials always await us, and we can feel helpless. But it is precisely in these moments that the universe sends us people who give us the courage to face these challenges and overcome the obstacles. Their support and encouragement inspire us and give us the strength to move forward in the dance of life. Kenshin told the young novice, "Every encounter is a musical note. Listen carefully to the melody revealed through the people who cross your path. Find beauty in the harmony of human connections. Remember, whether it is love, a special friendship, or even an acquaintance who touches our path, an encounter can change us forever." As you reflect on the wisdom shared by Kenshin, we invite you to take action in your own life. Begin by recognizing and valuing every person who enters your journey. Approach each relationship with an open heart and a willingness to learn and grow together. If this message resonated with you, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update, and join our community of like-minded individuals on this path of spiritual growth and understanding. Together, we can create a world filled with meaningful connections and lasting impact. Thank you for watching, and remember, every encounter holds the power to transform your life.